Hello everybody, welcome to today's video from the Family Business book, in which I will explain to you why a couple of years ago I sacked my best, in inverted commas, client, and why you should sometimes do the same. Now, first of all, let me explain, unlike some of the great gurus and pundits out there on the internet that are really multi-millionaires and they turn over hundreds of thousands of dollars in advertising on various different channels and forums, I'm not a rich man, and although I'm involved in a couple of businesses, I really don't make a huge amount of money. So I need to make that very, very clear. So when I make a video about sacking my best client, that is my best paying client, you can be pretty sure that there's an airplane going overhead. I don't know whether you can hear it. Meow. Yeah, so when I make a video about sacking my best paying client, you can be pretty sure that there's got to be some good reasons for doing so. Now, just to give you a little bit of background to this story, I worked for the government in the UK for a long time, in local government. And in that situation, when you had clients, you couldn't actually sack them. They were allocated to you and they were yours until either their situation was resolved or you got yourself another job somewhere else. But you couldn't sack any client, good or bad. And so this was a kind of conditioning that I had when I first went out into the world and started to run my own business. And this probably cost me quite dearly, because I was in this habit of sticking with people come hell or high water. Now, this particular client that I had was my best earner. I had them on a regular monthly commission, and the situation was they would pay me X amount of euros, and in exchange I would do an indefinite amount of work for them, and basically it was up to them how much they used me or didn't use me, and part of the deal was that we would stay in regular contact. So how did I come to sack them? Well, I actually owe a great lesson to the photographer Helmut Newton, because in his autobiography he writes about how he was invited by the then editor of Vogue, Diana Vreeland, to go to New York and take some fashion pictures. And then making photos for the American version of Vogue is the greatest accolade a photographer can have. And the first time that Helmut was invited to go to America, naturally he accepted. And he went over and he made lots of photographs, and he was very satisfied with the results. And the editor seemed to be very, very satisfied with the results, and he was all set to go back again. And then the editor would phone him and say she had changed her mind about them and could he shoot them again. So he would go and shoot them again, and she would say, I'm not too happy about these, can we do something a bit more like the first ones but like this? And so it went on, and finally a few of his pictures were printed in the magazine, but only after an incredible amount of work and heartache and disgruntlement on behalf of models and Helmut himself. And so the following year, when Diana Vreeland phoned him again and said, Helmut, would you please come to New York and take some photographs for the magazine? He said, thank you, but I would rather not. And so in a sense, he was kind of seeming to turn down his very best offer. And this story really kind of hit me. And I thought, yes, Helmut has a set of values. He's got some integrity. He knows what he wants to do and how he wants to be treated and how he wants other people to be treated. And he's not getting it from this particular editor, so he's turned them down. And it was a huge lesson and an eye-opener for me. So fast forward many, many decades, and here I am working with this guy, attempting to build his business. And as it turns out, whenever we're in contact, he's giving me some new firefighting task to advise upon. And the firefighting has been due to some kind of incompetence, I suppose you would say, on the part of him or his organization. And what I'm really supposed to be hired to do is to help him develop his business into being a solid, successful enterprise. We go through a series of meetings, both face-to-face and telephone meetings, at the conclusion of which things are actually getting worse. He's presenting me with more and more firefighting tasks to deal with. And in addition to this, I discover that he's beginning to treat me as he is treating some of his suppliers and clients. And what is pretty essential when you're a consultant is that when you can work with companies like this, but when you do so, first of all, you have to make an island around your relationship, and so that the client works in a clean way with you. And once they're working in a clean way with you, you can then kind of step it out to the next priority. You keep stepping it out until the organization actually begins to represent something that has some integrity and solidity to it. And when it goes the other way and you start getting appointments missed, emails not answered, queries not answered, and late payment of invoices sometimes, then you're in trouble as a consultant. And so I could have kept this guy going, and in fact he's contacted me several times since I sacked him, inviting me to go back and to do various bits of work for him, and I've always politely declined. Not because I'm a rich person and I can afford to turn away lots of business. Business is always welcome. But quite simply because being paid for something that you're not engaged to do and which is not leading anywhere positive is a soul-destroying exercise. And yet it's one that people in business frequently fall into. They think, if I sack these people, I'm not going to get any other clients. If I sack these people, I'm not going to survive. But it's totally untrue. When you make space in your business by sacking the people that are giving you, the clients that are giving you trouble, inevitably that happens is something comes along to replace them. The time gets filled with something else, and usually it's much more productive than working with the difficult client. Have I actually recovered the money that this person was paying me on a regular basis? No, I haven't, but I'm far happier and I'm getting there. Anyway, this is today's video from the Family Business Book. I hope it's given you some food for thought. In the Family Business Book, I talk about 12 common problems and 12 ways that you can address them if you run a family-owned business. And you can find out more about it at thefamilybusinessbook.com. I will talk to you tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to share your thoughts with other family business owners in the comments section below. You can also respond to thoughts posted by other viewers. Remember to like and share the video and subscribe to this channel. To be sure to receive notifications, you must also click the bell icon at the top right-hand corner of the YouTube page.